What's up, my little TisaTellss? How y'all doing today? And what's up, Sussex Squad, y'all? If you are Will and Kate, you have made a fool of yourself, y'all. William went and wanted to play I'm a politician because he thought that he was going to show up at New York, stand in front of the UN, and rain on Harry's parade. Unfortunately, nobody gave a who, what, hut, nanny about him and what he was doing. Do you know that Will released a what is it, a statement talking about actually, it was super nice being in New York. I was able to go for a jog quietly in the park and nobody knew who I was. And I said, this is not a flex. Baby, Will saw how much America cares about him and Kate, which is to say, not at all. See, here's the thing. The derangers be in the comments on Twitter. Blah, blah, blah. Do you understand in America that when people give you attention, that is a form of you matter? Everybody knows, even bad press is good press. Will came to New York. It wasn't even a bleep. It was a no one cared. No one noticed. You're a head of state jogging by yourself in Central Park. I know the head of the UN was sitting there like, wouldn't be me. On top of that, and this is the most embarrassing thing, the mayor of New York was supposed to meet with Will and Kate. I guess he's part of Sussex Squad. He ditched meeting with Will and Kate. I'm sorry, not Will and Kate. I'll talk about Kate in a second. She's on my mind heavy. He ditched the meeting with Will so he could go to Kamora Lee Simmons' birthday party. How is William not embarrassed? I know Harry and Meghan are chuckling because there's something when you prove your naysayers wrong, right? There's something when, like, you catch your enemy slipping or your haters slipping. I think there's a certain type of one thing about them tables, they always gonna turn. It's so satisfying when your enemies expose themselves, and that's what Will has done. Y'all, not only that, the Daily Mail is nipping at Will's head, talking about something. Everybody in New York was asking, where's Kate? Where's Kate? Nobody asking where Kate was except for Kate asking, did she send Carol Mitterlin out with the now defunct party planners to talk about it? Anyway, let's get into this, right? They said that William thinks New York was a success. I guess because people weren't holding signs saying, boo, colonizer, go home. If anything, they were just like, when you put a hat on, you are blinding us while you're jogging. Y'all, Will has to be embarrassed. He said Prince William's 2-day trip, it was like 30 hours, to the United States to promote his Earthshot Prize has been deemed a great success by sources close to the royal, who's recently voted more popular than President Biden by Americans in a Gallup poll. Now, here's the funny thing. I know William is playing to his own domestic audience. He don't care what happens outside as long as he can get pictures to send back to jolly old England. First of all, Will, I think, is the poster boy for the right, for colonization, for, white is right. Like, that's what I honestly think. This is my opinion. But let me just say this, right? And it needs to be said, Will, you really need to watch it the way you're saying Gallup polls are saying that you are more popular than President Biden. You literally look like a little person, a little tyrant from a nation state coming over and doing photo ops to send back to your legions. Like, who are you trying to justify this to? What is the point of this? The fact that William has so much money and all that money that they raise with their charity is going to not help people, but to put him on a platform. It's sick, really. But you're in America talking about, I admire American ingenuity and workmanship. And we're just like, boy, if you stop talking down to us. But on top of that, you have the nerve to make up fake Gallup polls. I don't know how much you paid for it, right? To say that you are more popular than President Biden by Americans. Are you? Anyway, right? And what are you popular in doing? They did vote for you. They don't know your life. They just know that you're Diana's son. So because your mom, who you literally disassociated, was popular, anyway, they say as William leaves the U.S. following the Earthshot summit, sources told Vanity Fair that the prince and his aides believe the tour has been really successful, and he's quietly delighted by how well he received. So basically, William's happy that he didn't make a fool of himself, that him and Kate weren't lambasted. He's lucky that there's no write-ups. How low is the bar that you go somewhere to be seen as the biggest statesman of all? Nobody cares. The mayor of New York stood you up. He made a meeting and 30 minutes later was like, no, I got a 21-year-old's birthday party to go to, and blew him off. I know William probably was hoping he'd get invited. Nothing happened. There was not a blip in newspapers. There is not a blip anywhere. You got a picture with the UN thing. You had to schedule it so you were actually in town. And you're saying this is a success, y'all? London Bridge has fallen. They're saying largely focused on domestic engagements and issues. William has only carried out a handful of overseas engagements since inheriting the title. And it's significant that he's traveled to America twice in the past year. America is important to the Prince and Princess of Wales. Why do they care what we think of them in America? The fact that they are really trying to hide behind the fact that this is anything but just trying to get in Harry's head. I know Harry and Meghan are just sitting there while they're in the middle playing kissy face, being like, yes, great job, Archie. Like looking at Archie play sandcastles and Lilibet running around being like, daddy, daddy, look, America is important. Why is America so important? What's going to happen? No, literally, William is a Tory at heart. What's going to happen? Are you praying that somebody right gets elected so you can be at the White House? Why is it so important? What do you have planned? Are you in any way going to shape our policy, give to our poor, do anything? Of course not. You don't even do that for your own people. Anyway, they're saying that America matters to the royal family. They enjoy great support in the States, and it's important that they continue to do so. For William to come top of the Gallup poll is impressive indeed. This is boring me even reading it. When you consider these had quite a lot of controversy aimed at him by his brother, who of course lives in America, it's quite a coup to come on top. Many thought the Oprah interview would decimate him, but actually his popularity has increased. We are seeing William put front and center on international stage, the lies they print and the lies they eat up. Russell went on to say, Charles is very active as the Prince of Wales, setting up the Prince's trust, but he only emerged as a statesman later on once he had carved out a role for himself. There was a sustained campaign to make him a more visible public prince, but as Charles was entering his 40s, his marriage was falling apart, which was very obvious on his and Diana's final overseas tour in South Korea. His private life overshadowed foreign visits. This isn't the case with William, who's very happily married and very supportive of his loyal wife, Kate. You mean the one that didn't come with him on a 30-hour trip? You didn't mean the one that when she touches him, he's like, bad touch, bad touch. Boy, shut up. William has the full support of his wife and his father, which is very important to him. I do believe this is opposite day, so that lets me know that Kate's mad that he left her in New York and his father can't stand him. The king has given him a lot of freedom and is allowing William to carve his own identity as the Prince of Wales. Part of this has been allowing William to flex his muscle when it comes to soft power. In recent years, he has carried out politically sensitive trips to the Middle East and earlier this year visited the Polish-Ukraine border to see Ukrainian troops. He certainly is afraid of visiting difficult locations. He went to a war zone. He went to America where there was a perception about him based on his brother's memoir. And in all this, he has emerged very well. People see him as a man of substance and gravitas, which has made him very popular. Listen, this fan fiction, it hasn't stopped. William and Kate are more in sync than ever and in awe of each other. They're so in awe, they have to stand like continents apart. They're more in sync than ever. All the challenges that have brought William and Kate closer, they're in awe of each other. William tells anyone who'll listen that he couldn't do it without Kate, and she echoes that right back. Kate planted this because she's mad William told her to stay home. They said they've even been engaging in some PDA lately, sharing a sweet kiss At a polo match in July, William used to be quite awkward about showing too much affection, but Kate's helped him relax. Listen, William and Kate are a mess. They are separated. Anything I believe that you, at least I believe they are, maybe they're not. I do believe that anything they print about Harry and Meghan is reflective of them. But this narrative that William's trip was a success because he went to New York, nobody noticed, and because he didn't make a fool of himself. But you know what? That's the funny thing William doesn't realize about America. Making a fool of yourself is more preferable than nobody noticing you there at all. Y'all, listen, this is going to have to be a part 2. I'll drop it tomorrow because there's some stuff about Kate copying Meghan. There's some stuff about William wishing he was Harry. Y'all, we're going to get into this, all right? See y'all tomorrow. Bye.